Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Jake. I wanted to give you guys another video commentary. This one is from my War League match for the first week. I should have more of these War League matches up across the next couple months because I am participating in the Edison War League held on the Beast Mode server. So yeah, I should have some more of these, and it'll be nice because these are matches against some high-level players. So it should be pretty good replays to watch and pretty good ones to that I can talk through my thoughts and my decisions that I made. So to start off, let's go ahead. Alright, so I lost the die roll. So my opponent set a monster pass. I don't know what he's playing, but so one thing I'd normally consider here is Prisma Tiger Geyserus. However, I don't know what he's playing. That's risky. And also, he only, and I have Darius in hand, so it actually isn't a possible hit play because I only play one Darius. The other thing regarding the play is it commits 2 GBs to the board. It only kills one creature. The creature could even be like a Sangan or something, so I could net no card advantage, and I'm risking 2 creatures on the board with only a Trap Dust Shoot and Bottomless to protect them. Trap Dust Shoot is very good here, don't get me wrong, and it probably would protect the creatures alone, but we wouldn't want to risk it anyway, in my opinion. I'd rather just summon the GB and swing, set Bottomless, Trap Dust Shoot, and see what's in their hand. Okay, so it's Turtle. So he summons Goblin Zombie. We're not going to Marmillo this or anything. There's no sort of value to be gained right now. So we're just going to Laquari pass, make it so he needs to play something big to get over Laquari, and then set these 2. Then we Dust Shoot. So I get rid of Caius, and I notate over here that he had Diva, Spirit Reaper, Gores, and 2 Book of Life. So conveniently, the Book of Life is just dead right now. I don't have any monsters in grave. We know, though, that I'm probably going to Tiger at some point, so at some point, 1 Book of Life will be live, so we have to keep that in mind. We can decide when that's going to be live, but we should be able to keep him off the 2nd Book of Life, like all game, unless I draw another Tiger, or unless a monster of mine dies and I can't control it. So, and then Reaper is not a scary card, Gores is not a scary card for GBs, and Diva, I currently have an out for Diva. If he just Divas into a Diva, or Diva into a Gilman, I have a Bottomless for whatever reason it grows. And you can't Diva directly, with anything that's currently ran with Diva at least, you can't Diva directly into a Stardust without having like a step in between, so I can Bottomless. So I'm going to get rid of the Caius, because the Caius is the only card that would remove my Laquari right now. So he Divas, summons Diva. He plays Gaia, I Bottomless. He searches with Goblin Zombie for Zombie Master. And passes. Okay, so I drew Starlight Road. It's unfortunate that I don't have another trap here. This probably isn't the most ideal trap to draw this turn. So we do want some sort of protection for our board. So I opt that we really want to find Chariot, because Chariot will stop Zombie Master. It'll stop any sort of fancy play he can do. So I just feel in a much safer position with Chariot, because also Chariot's just extremely strong against the zombie deck. And is recurable, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to opt to, but I want to be able to, if I'm swinging for Chariot, so I want to Tiger into Samnite. I also want to be able to tag to Bestiary main phase 2 in case he Gorses, because we're aware that he has Gores. And if he Gorses, we want to go ahead and go into Geyser's main phase 2. So what I opt to do is you can either Darius here, test Tiger Darius for Segitor, swing, tag to Bestie. The other card, maybe you tag to like a Retiari and banish something because you have nothing to get back, and you Geyserus with 2 cards in hand, and a Chariot, sorry, 3 cards in hand. Or I can Prisma here, pitch Laquari, Tiger for Samnite, swing, tag to a quest and Bestiari to get back a card in hand, and now have 4 cards in hand instead. So I like that idea, so I'm going to opt for that. Igor's, okay. So we're going to go with the plan that we mentioned. We're going to quest, get back Laquari, we're going to Bestiari, then we're going to Geyserus, and then we'll set 2. Thing to note is the reason that Retiari is not a concern is with that Gorz engrave, it only puts him at 2 Darks engrave, so we're not currently concerned about Darkholm Dragon. We still were flooded with a little extra monsters and I prefer this game, but you know, we're making it work. So Book of Life, we figured that would be live now with a Tiger engrave, but currently his hand shouldn't be threatening unless he drew something really good, because we know the other 3 cards in his hand. He says the card passes. Alright, so we just summon. We're going to summon the Darius because we want to get that finally back in the deck. Unfortunately, it's been really annoying having this Darius in our hand the entire time, and we had a bunch of plays where we would have considered just tagging into Darius, but oh well. So we're going to swing here first. Since it's summoning to the field, I'm going to go ahead and Chariot that. We can let the Goblin Zombie Surge happen. So that we know that he's now on Plague, Zombie Master, Book of Life, and Spirit Reaper in hand. Which isn't threatening. We're going to do some tagging for a quest, get that back. Now, so the reason we went for this is we want a high attack mode monster on the field, out of preference. And also, he currently still only has 2 Darks engrave, because he Book of Life the Goblin Zombie. It wasn't a new Goblin Zombie. So he's still off of Darkholm Dragon. We know 4 of the cards in his hand, and we just don't know what he's going to draw. I'd rather just threaten him with Secutor closing out the game next turn, because currently we have Starlight Road, Mirror Force, Chariot. He shouldn't be able to get through this board as long as I don't fuck it up. So we're going to go with that. And the Laquari should be able to run over a Zombie Master if he goes like Summon Pass or something, so it limits his options. He does that. He pitches to bring back. He thinks about it for a bit. He brings back Pyramid Turtle. So I decide not to negate that. It does put him at 3 Darks engrave, but right now we're not pressured to War Chariot because we have Mirror Force to stop this attack. If he stacks for Plague, we'll stop the Synchro if we need to, but again, unless he uses some sort of effect, like we have Mirror Force and War Chariot, I'm currently not concerned. We still don't know what the last card in his hand is, though. So I'm just going to Mirror Force here, easy enough, and I believe, yeah, B scoops. Alright, so we go to game 2. Okay, I'd prefer to open up with a monster, but there we go. We opened up with a monster. Okay, cool. So, something to note here. So we only have 1 monster. I don't like summoning Hompolumbus and attacking here, because if he has a Deep Prison, I don't know how long it's going to be until I draw a second monster. And that really could shut down my game plan, because the deck, I mean, people know Gladiator Beast is very reliant on its monsters, and right now I have 3 cards that rely on me having a Glad Beast, both Shrinks and Test Tiger, so I don't want the Glad Beast to die. So, I opt for setting Hop and setting 3. Reason here is I have Solemn to stop a heavy storm. Solemn also duels as back row protection if I really need it. Dust will work as a way to get rid of that back row or a new back row if I really need to. And Shrink is just some extra protection in case he summons something bigger than Hompolumbus. Best case scenario, he just summons Zombie Master and swings, right? And that would be amazing, and we just get a free tag. And the Shrink will duel as bottomless protection if that happens. So instant fusions. So this was interesting because I wasn't expecting this because I've never had this interaction come up, but I think about it for a second and I tell him that I'm thinking to stop. And because I realized that I could just go ahead and shrink his Reaver of Nightmare and it dies because it has the same effect as Spirit Reaper in that way. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. We want to deny Caius because we don't want to have to Solemn a Caius right here. And it seems like that is a reason that he would probably instant fusion right here, is probably to tribute Caius. It could be for a synchro play, but I figure it's more likely for tributing Caius right now. So he Zombie Masters, and he passes. So we're Industrial with the new set. We do have Solemn to answer the back row if it is a deep present. And we have Shrink for Bottomless. So we do have some pretty good outs. So we're going to Tiger, we're going to Armillo, get rid of the Zombie Master. We're going to swing. Doesn't do anything, so in this case, because we're bottomless proof, I'm going to go ahead and target with Vesty. He bottomlesses, I shrink, I set Chariot, and I pass. It would be preferred to have something besides Solemn here, like so I'd have to Solemn a summon, but it'll be really nice if I have it here, because if he draws Heavy Storm, then, you know, it could save my ass, right? So. So he decides to just draw a pass. Great for me, because I just drew a second of GB. I can go ahead and summon Swing. I have nothing to get back. I don't have anything I immediately need to Retiari. He only has 2 darks. So I'm going to do the play that, a very classic way to play around Brain Control, because right now the biggest threat's generally in GVs, right? Some fancy effect monster play that I can go ahead and, but I can War Chariot that. Heavy Storm, which I can Solemn Judgment, and now I need to be able to play around Brain Control. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag and tag, because this play is Brain Control proof, because the Laquari is 21, the Hopalomus is 24, and Hopalomus is in defense mode, Laquari is in attack mode, so either one that he grabs, he can't run over the other one with it, and I'll still have a GB that's strong on the board, versus double Laquari, he could potentially crash, Laquari Retiari, he could like grab, run over, and then do an effect monster play next turn to dodge Chariot. So this is a very nice way to play around Brain Control, and that I very much like. So he drew Heavy. We're going to Solemn. He sets passes. So he drew Pole Position. This will be another really good card if he draws like Brain Control. So it's Diva, okay. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to tag back and forth to Laquari Hopalomus. Even though we had Pole Position, because he could, for all we know, if he drew Brain Control, he could Brain Control the Hopalomus, not the Laquari. Alright, AT sets. Alright, we drew Bottomless. So some other back row protection, which is nice, because Pole Position won't always be live. It's a very niche card. So because he set one, I don't want to get blown out by Mirror Force here. Because right now, if he Mirror Forces or Torrentials, I'll only have one back row that really does anything right now, so I don't want to run into either one of those, so I'm going to go ahead and swing, see what happens. So this isn't a card that forced off War Chariot, so there isn't anything I need to tag out for. I could tag out for Bestiari, right? But the fact that he didn't Deep Prison here, and 2 Bottomless are gone, makes me think that is either a Torrential down. He didn't Mirror Force here either, so it makes me think that's either a Torrential down or a Solemn Judgment. I opt for not risking that it's Torrential, because I could just lose the game if it's Torrential. Whereas Solemn Judgment, I shouldn't just lose the game, ideally, so I'm willing to just leave my board like this. And set 1 pass. So Instant Fusions, okay? So, this is one misplay I did make here. And I think that I should have Bottomless here, and I didn't. Because ever since turn 1, I did put him on having a Caius in hand. And conveniently, this Instant Fusion target is something that you can Bottomless. I don't think he had 3 darks in grave. Nope, only 2 darks. I think Bottomless would have been a smart play, and I unfortunately didn't do that, so that was my mistake. I think I also assumed if he Caiused that I'd probably War Chariot. But again, I did think that he could be on Torrential or Solemn. Unfortunately, it was the Solemn, so I do get blown out. Now, he is in a position where he's only at 600 life points. He knows that I play Shrinks, I play Deep Prisons, I play Mirror Force, all that stuff on my deck. So he opts to not attack because he is concerned about just instantly losing the game, which is fair enough. So I go ahead and I draw Book of Moon. Fantastic, I can just swing. I'm going to tag a quest. Keep in mind he does have, actually he has 4 Darks engraved now, so that's good. Gets around Dark Arm. Okay, get back Chariot. He card troopers. Now this is very annoying, because I can't bottomless this. I do need to War Chariot this, and he's going to draw a card, which is sad. Keep in mind, he did mill to brain control, so now it's even less likely the pole position will be live unless he draws like a mind control. So I drew another GB, that's great. We're just going to swing to try to strike our game. And he finally drew a Deep Prison. So main phase 2, I'm going to opt to summon this GB. The risk of this play is he could draw Pyramid Turtle, which he has not drawn one yet, and crash, and I lose the GB and he gets something. However, he does play Spirit Reaper, and he could, if I just don't summon anything, he could just summon Spirit Reaper off the top of his deck, swing, pitch the Retiari, and that would just be brutal. So I opt for leaving the GB on board, having a way to negate monster effects, and, or not negate monster effects, but basically anything between 12 to 1400 kills me, but 1500 or above, I have bottomless 4, so. Alright, he didn't drop Pyramid Turtle, so we're just going to MST, because we drew that. Because it does shoot, so we swing. Okay, so he's going to be able to swing, or he's going to be able to search. So I go ahead and request Get Back Chariot, because we have Chariot bottomless. We should be able to out anything he plays, ideally. So we bottomless Mizuki. Now he does have Book of Life, which that is concerning, because he does have a Zombie Master engraved that could run over my quest. I currently can't out that. However, this card has been here since the turn he played Caius and chose not to attack. So it's very possible he still thinks this is a Shrink or a Deep Prison, because there hasn't been a time to come up yet where either of those cards would have been applicable yet. So he really thinks for a very long time on what he wants to grab. So he decides on Goblin Zombie. He doesn't want to risk it, which is very fortunate for me. So I go ahead and just quest attack. I'm going to War Chariot this, just to make sure he doesn't get the search. I'm going to Laquari. It could be risky to have the War Chariot engraved, because he could right now draw off the top of his deck a, I believe he plays Gale in his list as the one of, so that could out me here. There might be another creature that can out me here. That might be the only thing, because I think he's already lost 2 divas. I guess if he draws a 3rd diva, and if he plays Gilman, that could out me here too. So we just hope he doesn't draw those. But besides that, we should be able to out anything else, ideally. And he drew a lure, okay? So, best case scenario for us, he has to discard his hand and loses. He is able to banish, and he's able to set a monster. So, I do feel good about the fact he did not side out Spirit Reaper, so I do feel a little bit better about summoning that Retiari a few turns ago. And he set a monster. So we drew Mirror Force, great, because right now these 2 cards are kind of dead at the moment. Alright, Laquari hits a Pyramid Turtle, so he summons Plague. Okay, so what could he draw? He could draw something to synchro with. Mirror Force plus Chariot should be able to stop any sort of synchro play. So we're just going to go ahead and set those. He sets a background passes, okay. We drew Call. Alright, so we swing. He did draw Mirror Force. Luckily for us, I drew Call of the Haunted. Now, this is the other misplay I believe I made this game. So, he could either draw into a card to synchro with, or he could always draw Caius, Tribute, and banish something. And worst case scenario, let's say he banished Mirror Force, I could be in a lot of trouble right now, because I don't have another card that's clearly outing the Caius immediately. Standby phase, I really think I should have called the Haunted Quest to make Chariot live, but that was my misplay, I didn't do that. So he Caius'd. Funny enough, he targeted Pole Position. Pole Position's last effect does kill Caius. So, I Pole Position, kill the Caius, I get a fair response of what the hell. And then end phase, I go ahead and call a quest for game. So yeah, I hope you guys like that. Zombies are usually a pretty easy matchup for Glad Beasts, but I think there was a lot of interaction and a bunch of really cool plays in this match that it was a good replay to go over. So yeah, I hope you guys like this. Any questions, feel free to ask me. And besides that, I hope everybody has a good day.